Hello everybody, and today I will be talking about a movie that's been on my to-watch list for a long time. And that movie is Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring that came out in 2003 and was directed by Kim Ki-duk. The story of this film takes place in this isolated foresty part of Korea, and there in the middle of a lake floats a Buddhist monastery. A monk and his young apprentice live there, and as each season passes, we see the young apprentice grow older and face different life circumstances. I watched this movie recently after a long, busy day, and I was quite exhausted and had a slight headache too, but 10 minutes into the film, my headache was cured. I was transformed into the Jusanji pond where the movie takes place, breathing the fresh air, feeling so relaxed and at ease like all my real-life problems ceased to exist for a moment, to only realize that I was still in my room after the credits started rolling. The amazing soundtrack by G Bark contributes to the whole meditative feeling of the movie, along with wonderful shots by the cinematographer Baek Dong-hyun. As each season passes, we see the disciple deal with different issues and emotions that come as you grow older. For example, when he's a boy, he learns about consequences. When he's a teenager, he experiences feelings of lust for the first time, and so on and so forth. In Kim Ki-duk's own words, and I quote, "I intended to portray the joy, anger, sorrow, and pleasure of our lives through 4 seasons and through the life of a monk who lives in a temple on Jusanji Pond, surrounded only by nature." One of my favorite moments in the film happens in the first season, Spring, when the boy goes around a rocky hill tying a small stone with a string to a fish, a frog, and a snake, all while his master quietly observes him. I was so frustrated watching that scene because animal cruelty is not something I can take, and so I was thinking, why the hell would the monk not step in and punish the boy right there and tell him that what he's doing is wrong? But the scene that came just after that made me realize how wise the monk was for not stepping in. Because the next morning, the boy wakes up with a big stone now tied to his back, and his master tells him that he'll only take off the stone when the boy finds the tortured animals and unties them. And then the monk continues by saying, "But if any of the animals is dead, then you'll carry that stone in your heart forever." Those were such simple yet profound words that perfectly explain why you must suffer the consequences of the mistakes you have done. This movie is filled with meaningful moments like this, and yet there's barely any dialogue in it. And it's because most of its messages this movie delivers through showing, not telling. And that's the core of cinema, show, not tell. And with minimum dialogue and great visual storytelling, this movie accomplishes greatness. The characters in the movie don't have any names, and that also adds to the whole minimalistic style of the film. But there is another reason why, and I found that on IMDb, not gonna lie. And that's because in Buddhism, you abandon the idea of yourself as an individual and see yourself as part of a whole. There are also mysterious and symbolic things in this movie, like doors without any walls, which represents discipline. But more peculiar than that is the boat in this movie. There are several scenes where the monk is able to somehow cross the lake despite the boat being on the other side of the land. This and some other scenes show this mystifying relationship between the monk and the boat, which seems to be hinting that the monk has this inexplicable connection to the boat and is able to move it at will. Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring is one of those rare movies that I fell in love with just a few minutes into viewing it. Its beautiful scenery, its tranquility, a movie with nameless characters, minimal dialogue, and enriching, meaningful moments. It's a type of movie that you don't really see that often, but when you do, you're so glad that you discovered it and enjoyed it. Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring definitely gets a perfect score of 10 out of 10. What a beautiful movie that I highly recommend to those who haven't seen it. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on Spring, Summer, Fall, Winter, and Spring? I'm curious. Also, I will have a link for my playlist of all the Korean movie reviews I've done so far in the description below, along with both my social media links, Twitter and Instagram. So links in the description below. Check them out if you're interested. And if you made it this far and enjoyed the video, guys, leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss my other movie and TV show related videos. Thank you so much for watching once again. Bye.